So today's Noirvember film was a very much a B film from MGM, although it stars one of the great A-list actresses of all time, Barbara Stanwyck. But this is in the 50s. Her star was starting to wane, which is bullshit, but that's, Hollywood for you. So in this film, she's married to Barry Sullivan, which is like a downgrade from everyone she's ever had to share screen time with, like, because Barry Sullivan really. Um, Anyways, she and Barry Sullivan are married and they have a son named Bobby because this is the 50s and everyone's son is named Bobby. And they're going on a car trip down to Baja California to a fishing village where Stanwyck's father used to hang out with his army buddies. And it starts out with this really great sort of kind of scathing description of American vacationing and like post-war car tripping that is sets a nice cynical tone to the film because the rest of it is this bright, beautiful sort of beach noir, but you have this cynical housewife, describing vacations in a very dark kind of way. They get to the beach. Stupid little Bobby goes running off on his own and almost dies, and his father, in helping him, ends up having a giant beam fall on his leg. And this is like 35 minutes into a 69-minute movie. The thing finally falls on his leg because the first half hour is just them being a family. It's kind of boring. And then the thing falls on him, and then the car jack breaks, and everything they try breaks, and nothing works. And so Barbara Stanwyck goes out to try to get a rope because they don't have a rope in their car. I don't know. They're not well prepared, I think, for going off the grid. So, but she can't speak Spanish, and they're in Mexico, so she's fucked. And by the time she tries to figure out how to say rope, and by the time the people that she's run into figure out that she's trying to say rope, she's already left, and they're like, "But we have a rope." So then she finds an American, and it's like, don't talk to a lone American in Mexico because they're always going to be a villain or an escaped convict. That's just how it works in these movies. So obviously, it's Ralph Meeker, so he's an escaped murderer who's on the lam. She doesn't know this right away, but then she gets kidnapped, basically, and has to try to talk her way out of him kidnapping her because he needs things like new set of clothes and identification and stuff with the car and stuff like that. And she's just like, come with me. You can take everything. It'll be fine. So this is what happens. But, and this is the best part of the movie, she totally seduces him. She totally sleeps with him. You don't see it. It's off screen. But you know that's what's happening and that's what they're talking about. And it has really great double entendre dialogue between the two of them where she's like, when's the last time you spoke to a woman? And you know what she means by spoke. And you know what he means by it's been a long time. And then the next thing you know, they've made a deal. And is he going to hold up his bargain to help the husband? Is she going to go off with him so that he can escape more convincingly under her husband's name? I don't know. I'm not going to spoil it for you. But it's a taut 69-minute thriller. It's very sexy once Ralph Meeker shows up. He looks like a beach blanket bingo serial killer. It's amazing. Barry Sullivan is boring. I've very rarely liked Barry Sullivan in anything, so sorry, brah. And the kid is annoying. And there's like half of kids in old Hollywood are really great, and half the kids in old Hollywood are so annoying you want to stab them to death. And unfortunately, poor Bobby here is one of those annoying kids. This is directed by John Sturges, who would go on to do things like Bad Day at Black Rock. I think the second half of the film is really good, and the first half of the film is really boring. And that's because it's based on a 22-minute radio play, and it should have been a 22-minute short film, and then it would have been really good. But they made it longer, and it was too long. But you can watch it right now on TCM. It's on Watch TCM. I think it's probably on Warner Archive Collection. It seems like it would be. I'd say it's good if you like Ralph Meeker and if you like Stanwyck and if you can get past the boring first half, because it gets real sexy and it has some really racy posters. So this is 1953's Jeopardy. It's directed by John Sturges, and I, for the most part, recommend it.